Hi guys, I'm Alex, and this is the Beta to Alpha Show, and if you like what you're seeing and hearing, please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. So today we're going to be talking about addictions, and how addictions can get in the way of everything. Now, we say, oh yes, well, if you're like a heroin addict or something, you can't function very well in the world. But you'd be surprised how well, first of all, an addict can function quite well in the world and you don't even know it. I can remember being in a martial arts school, and the assistant to the class was really, I thought he was a great guy. And then one day, he wasn't there, and I was like, what happened to him? Where'd he go? And he said, well, he turned him out. This was a Chinese man, you know, the master. He turned out his student, and because he was an addict, and he was stealing from the school to pay for his addiction, even though he was a very, very good martial artist. I mean, it's just amazing how these things can manifest like this. And I mean, a lot of it could be chemicals that you have in your brain, or lack of chemicals that you have in your brain. And then when you take a drug, it gives you what you've desperately been missing, or it gives you, you know, something that are just so much more unbelievable than you've ever experienced before, that you're just overwhelmed by it and you have to have it again. Now I know people, I have a good friend who claims he's not an addict, so that when he smokes grass, it is a free choice and he can stop at any time he wants it, you know, any time he wants to. I don't know if that's true. That's really up to him to be able to determine that. But anything can be an addiction. If you're sitting playing a video game, that's fine, and your girlfriend, you're playing and you're having a good time and you both like it, it's great. But if you're playing a video game and your girlfriend is trying to talk to you about what's wrong with the relationship, and you're not listening to her and you just immerse yourself in your video game, then to me, that's an addiction. And addictions are very tricky. There's a very famous psychologist who says that, or a former psychologist, he calls himself a recovering psychologist, but that's another topic. Anyway, she says that addictions are like underground rivers. And if you live in the Midwest, you know, you don't even realize it, but one day you have your house and all of a sudden there's a puddle down there. It's like, what's going on? There's an underground river and it's seeped through your floor. So this is kind of like what addictions are. Anything that takes you away from the present moment can be an addiction. And of course, there's never been a time like this where we're just so, our attention is being pulled left and right. And if you don't practice mindfulness, if you don't practice centering and grounding like I talk about every week, then you're just not going to be as optimal a human being in the world. You're not going to be able to talk to women as well. You're not going to be able to, you know, just do the kinds of things that are going to make you an effective leader, or be able to play a sport or whatever you're doing. So you really, really have to fight to stay present, frankly, in this day and age. I mean, whoever could imagine that this was going to happen? I understand that people used to watch television for long, long periods of time every day, and now they're just on their phones. But, you know, our attention is pulled left and right, and it's only in a country that's very affluent are you going to have these kind of addictive problems. Obviously, if you're in a very, very, very poor country and you're starving to death, well, you know, you're not escaping on the phone. You probably don't have a phone or whatever, but maybe, I know that they have phones everywhere now, even in the poorest countries, so perhaps people are doing that. And I mean, a virtual reality could be, in the long term, a very good thing. They say that people that are in chronic pain, when they do virtual reality types of things, they don't feel it. So it's amazing. So it's a question of what is pain in the first place. But mindfulness to me is the key to everything in this world now. And I can't imagine myself not practicing it all the time, because it's just necessary. So again, just think about addictions this week. We'll be talking more about them in the future. And if you've liked what you see, please feel free to subscribe, like, and comment. And I'll see you next time. This is the Beta Alpha Show.